Palermaa against Wes Malott and Parker Bohn III. Not a great outing, I'm afraid, for Wes Malott in the first game, so he's hoping that the left-hander Parker Bohn can help him bring it back together in this doubles. But Cass Edwards, Scotch Doubles, not a format we see a lot on the world stage.
No, it's not. I think it's just the Weber Cup that they utilise this format. It's the lead-off man, Stu Williams, who will bowl the first ball. If he doesn't strike, Scotch Palermaa will have to take the spare. And that goes on frame by frame. And they only change lead-off when one player does strike. So if Stewart strikes now, Oscar will bowl the first ball in frame 2.
Starts off with the ball that I like to call the rhubarb and custard ball, due to the colouring. But I'm afraid it's a bit of rhubarb that he's thrown. That's not a great opener, and it means that the man who's been striking all the way through that opening singles, Scotch Palermaa, is going to be confined to a spare role at the moment.
Yeah, simple 6-10 pins in the corner. Oscar's going to go hard and fast at this. And you can't get much harder and much faster than that, but it's only a spare. And Oscar will have to sit back and wait for Stewart to get a strike before he will get up and have a shot at 10 pins.
I was a little bit surprised to see Williams step up first, with Oscar warm and comfortable on this lane. It's Malott that has, well, not bowled effectively at all in game 1, but at least he's used to this condition. Now he'll be hoping that he can get towards that outside board and bring it back in. And he does, but leaves a ring in 10.
And a 10 pin for the left-hander, Parker Bohn, will be a quite simple spare across from the left-hand side of the line. Better looking shot from Malott. And he's learnt something from that first match.
So the 52-year-old from New Jersey, Parker Bohn, misses. Oh my goodness me, what is happening to Team USA here at Weber Cup 16?
I'm almost lost for words, and I think Parker would be. He's set that ball down in the middle of the lane where the heavy oil is. I think had he gone further left on the lane, he could have got it across with the angle, but it's just aquaplaned straight through, no turn whatsoever. And I bet he is as sick as a dog, which I hate to say. Now, to take advantage, Stu Williams.
Slight changes out in angle, gets it pushed through to the pocket, and the crowd knew that from 2/3 of the way down, that ball was good.
Yes, upped his speed a little bit, using a highly reactive bowling ball, which means that Scotch Palermaa will be lead up on frame number 3. He'll be shooting at the 10 pins. That's the format of the doubles.
And it's got to be Malott back up for Team USA, because he didn't strike first up, and his partner, Parker Bohn, didn't manage to take out the relatively straightforward spare. This time, though, it's all good. Oh, fantastic stuff. Where's Malott? Drops to the ground, because at last the bowling gods have smiled on him. He's got a strike.
I think someone's had to call for a medic, but he's up and he's safe. A caller at the first fence rips the rack, rips the 10 pin out the way, and thank you oh so much. And down he goes, and that's a long way to go down for a big man like that. Nurse Bohn to the rescue.
That may have come up on the Richter scale, you never know. Watch the evening news. Oh no! Did everything but, and the 10 pin stands. So things change again.
Interestingly, Simon, that Oscar was using a reactive strike ball, not the same ball that he had the 257 game just previously. So he may have thought that there's some sort of transition in the oil pattern that's going to affect it, but it's now Stu Williams up to bowl this single 10 pin, which he does very easily. Keeps the score sheet clean for the European side.
You know, Cass, in all these battles that we've watched over the years, it is sometimes just one small incident that changes the momentum, and I wonder if that was it from Wes Malott.
Or possibly the 9 miss from Parker Bohn, which was probably more outrageous than the strike from Wes. Now Parker, left-hander, left-hand side of the lane, all on his own, unplayed at the moment. Can he get the reaction in the back end?
Oh, he can't.
That's just unbelievable, isn't it?
A 7-10 for Bohn. And that is a massive problem now for Team USA.
I mean, to all intents and purposes, it looked like a reasonable pocket hit. Now, just watch this. Hasn't gone that wide, gets the reaction in the back end, and it is light in the pocket. And the 4 goes around the 7, and the 6 goes around the 10. And that's what you get, unfortunately, a 7-10 split. Open frame, and that's the second one out of 3 frames for the Americans. On paper, Malott, Bohn, what a pairing. Fantastic players. Just haven't got it going at the moment.
The pinfall not good for the USA in session 2 of Weber Cup 16. But still a job to be done here for Team Europe. Yes, they've been given an opportunity here, but the opportunity only counts if you can keep it clean through the frames, but preferably get yourself a couple of strikes. Change the ball then. Palermaa going back to the ball that he had a little bit of an experiment with at the end of the singles, and he has to throw that very, very hard to get through the back end, Cass.
Certainly does, Simon. Yeah, really, really fast. Loads of rotation. Look at that. Really does hook up to the pocket. But that's Oskar Palerma's game. And no messing.
Finger from the two-hander. He's buried them. That will make Stu Williams feel a lot more comfortable. Bohn again has to throw the strike ball, and again very close to leaving a big split. He's lucky just to leave 1 pin.
Yeah, very unfortunate. This man is an absolute bowling legend. He's equal 5th on the all-time winning list of PBA titles, behind such great players as Walter Ray Williams, Earl Anthony, Norm Duke and Peter Weber. Then comes Parker Bohn, and that's how high he's held in the bowling circles.
So 270 potential maximum for Europe against that 237 for the USA. And the USA, not only do they need to start striking in clusters, but they need their opponents to trip up at some point. Stu Williams back on the strike ball. Good work from Stu Williams. And Beef Stew, the nickname that he picked up when he went over to the States and took that massive victory a couple of years back, delivers for Team Europe.
So much reaction in the back end. It was light in the pocket on the head pin. Managed to mix them up and get that chain reaction going for 2 strikes in a row. Maintaining that lead. Things going well at the moment for Team Europe.
Well, the man that just bowled for Team Europe will play against the man that is just about to bowl for Team USA in a singles match, game 9 next up, and that will certainly help Parker Bohn's frame of mind. Well, they're working pretty well with the crowd here, Team USA.
Well, yeah, they are their favourites. It's nice to see them back here every year. We get to know the players. Parker's the new boy, and just love that strike. The man that's got over 300 games on the PBA Tour in his time there. So Wes Malott and he both sometimes shoot 300 games before breakfast. At the moment, this lane is causing them 1 or 2 problems. Quite a contrast to Stu Williams and Oskar Palermaa.
Looking for Turkey here, 3 in a row. 3 in a row they get, not in doubt. Brilliant strike from the Finn.
It's all very hard and fast, and it's a great reaction in the back end. The ball just turns left, an absolute classic hook shot. Ball snaps up after 37 feet where the oil stops. It's 23 feet and dry, and they're really taking advantage of it. All power players, and more so than this fella, Big Wes.
Slightly more ponderous into the pocket from Malott, but a lot of power in that ball. So that's a double for Team USA. This one could be close. Team Europe are still the team that has to make a mistake for it to be so, but Team USA waiting in the wings here.
Yeah, you're quite right, Sam. Running out of frames. I mean, if the Malott Bohn duo can strike off, they're going to be 237. It may not be enough.
Smooth style from the man born in Ellesmere Port, but now lives with wife Tina over in Phoenix, Stu Williams. And if Team Europe keeps striking, then Team USA can do nothing about it.
Another great strike from Stu Williams. High fives from Oscar. All the European team had been out practicing as a team recently. Doubles and singles event in Vienna. They both teamed up. They came second and third in the event. So they've been practicing together, getting themselves prepared for this Weber Cup. It's certainly paying off.
Bohn leaves the corner 7 pin, which is the pin that the left-handers would tend to leave. Right-handers leave the 10.
Yeah, started hitting the pocket and carried a couple of strikes, but again, quite a good shot there. Leaves the corner pin standing. One from Malott to spare.
Throws a strike ball at it just to take a look at the reaction. That's how comfortable these pros are with getting the ball to the spare pins. But look at that, makes good reading, doesn't it, for Team Europe? 4-bagger for Williams and Palermaa, as Palermaa steps up to turn the screw a little tighter. And with a massive lead like this, they can now afford a couple of errors. They can even afford a big error, Cass, and they're still in with the chance of the point.
Simon, I hear what you're saying, and the big thing about this game was the open frames in frames 1 and 3 for the Americans. A 7-10 split in frame 3, and a single pin miss in the first frame. It does absolute damage to your score, and you need 4 or 5 in a row just to get those pins back.
Brilliant. Oscar Palermaa asked to step up in match 7 and 8, the first 2 in this second session, and he's done his job quite beautifully. We'll see him again in the last match this afternoon, and goodness knows what the score's going to be by then.
Yeah, Oscar's just trying to make a bit of a statement, I think. The statement being, why didn't I play the last 2 years in this team? A great success around on the Asian, American and the European tour.
Slides across the front of the deck, takes a few out, but again, that's a worrying delivery from Parker Bohn in terms of the singles to come.
Yeah, change of ball. Match with the head pin was crossing to the right hand side. Fortunate just to leave the single pin spare, which meant Malott will have to take. But this match is pretty much dead and buried as far as Team USA are concerned.
What odds you could have got on 2 consecutive sub 200 games from the US pros here in Barnsley?
Gosh, don't even go there. On paper, they're the greatest players in the world.
Williams finally leaves one standing, so that run of strikes from Team Europe comes to an end. 5 in a row, though. That's done the job.
Yeah, it normally puts a bit of a dent in the opposition. A good looking shot from Stu Williams, just a tad high on the head pin. Oscar's going to spare it just about, but that's good enough.
Shrug of the shoulders from Stu Williams. A very good pair.
Yeah, Oscar just showing that he can spare single pins when he wants to.
Bohn, you get the sense that this man is still experimenting for the singles to come. And I'm not sure we'll see that ball again.
Yeah, certainly not a happy man. He's not getting the reaction. Or maybe just a little bit too short for him. Comes off the all pattern and it just turns to the right, doesn't it? Breaks nothing up because it wasn't in the pocket. Not the happiest looking Parker Bohn we've ever seen. And as you said, Simon, their maximum score drops below 200 if they can strike out in frame 10. And now, of course, the huge audience here at the Metrodome will help out the Europeans to enjoy frame number 10.
Okay, a little bit of concern for Stu Williams. A couple of pins left standing on the last 2 visits. So things might be a little closer than he would like in the next game. We'll see. In terms of the present, the job is done. Palermaa misses the spare for the open frame, but it's a 2-2-7 mark set by Team Europe. So Team USA, whatever they step up to do now, will have no effect on the fact that Europe have stormed into an amazing lead in Webber Cup 16. They will be 7-1 ahead at the end of this game. And they have to do something now in set 2, otherwise this tournament is starting to drift. Finally takes its time, but the 7-pin goes down, and if Parker Bohn tells you to drop, you drop.
Some light relief for Parker Bohn, upped his speed a bit, which he needed to do. Still coming a fraction light, and that lazy 7-pin just about goes. And someone opens the back door and the wind comes in and blows it over.
You're looking at me? Good stuff from Parker. A little bit of New Jersey roots there coming to the surface. So Malott, who was so brilliant last year, was called upon after his point yesterday to try and stop the rot here in session 2. It hasn't happened. He's still smiling, but it's going to be hurting on the inside.
Well, he's just asked Parker if he'll pick up the 8-10 split. Likely just to be 1 pin. And a 1-8-3 will be the score. Make that 1-8-2.
It's a field goal, but no points for it, I'm afraid. And that's all they've got left at the moment, the Americans. A bit of humour. This has not been a fun afternoon for them so far here in the Barnsley Metrodome. It's another poor score from the Americans. It's more blue on the leaderboard from Team Europe. They lead 7-1 here in Webber Cup 16. More action to come after the break.